We are in live.
Okay, please give me a cue when I have to start.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Institute of Global Professionals. This is a co-volunteer and head ambassador of Team IGP, Salma. I hope everyone is fine in COVID-19 situation. It is not easy to ask, but we all are trying to recover this situation as well. First, I want to say thanks who regularly enjoyed our international webinar. I hope you have benefited a little with those webinars. We are trying to find the best skill trainer, speaker, and coaches from all over the world. Hopefully, it will help everyone a little bit. We hope you all are with the initiative and also remain with us in future journey. Our target is to evaluate and make more efficient with our effort. That's a lot for us. Our activities will continue if we get support from you. The mission of this institution is to empower people from all over the world, especially the job seeker and the job holders, by providing effective training and consultation. For the students, the mission of Institute of Global Professionals is to empower and enable them to better their lives and to contribute positively to the organizations and communities in which they work and live and competitive world. We accomplish this by providing higher quality education. We serve students locally, nationally, and internationally at our respective campus, location, and distance learning formats. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals. People who are joining with us, I am cordially welcoming you all. We hope that the webinar will help you to enlighten you in knowledge workable in various sectors. Hope you will enjoy and stay with us till the end. We have already completed 59 webinars, sorry, 58 webinars successfully. Our last international webinar was on discovering your genius. Today we are presenting the webinar 59 on 3 scientific secrets of happy life. I would like to introduce our guest today. Hassan Bukhari is a dynamic leader, successful entrepreneur, public speaker, consultant, educational psychologist, and the co-founder of Education and Mental Health Service, Abbottabad. He has delivered over 200 seminars, workshops, and training sessions. Moreover, he actively works with children in his clinic. His electric approach to training makes his sessions interesting and thought-provoking. His unconventional methods are liked by hundreds of followers and he aims to inspire many more. Please give a warm welcome to Hassan sir. Hello sir.
Hello, Ms. Salma. Thank you for introducing me. I truly appreciate your word. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for watching this live. Whoever is watching this from whichever country, I'll be asking you to give a special response to this training session. So over to you, Ms. Salma. If you ask me to begin, I'll just begin.
Yes, sir. Obviously, start your presentation.
I'm sorry.
Hello. Yes, sir. Please
Okay,
start
so
your
I'll go
presentation.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The 73 participants who are watching this live right now. If you are from Pakistan, give me a thumbs up. If you are from Bangladesh, Show your hand. If you're from India, I'll ask you to give a heart. And if you're from Philippines, I'll ask you to give me the care emotion on this live feed. And thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for your responses. I am Hassan Bukhari, as Salma introduced. I am a consultant educational psychologist. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I'm a trainer. I consult a lot of people around the globe towards their mental health. And today I'm bringing you this exciting opportunity to take control of your happiness and make the best out of your life. So before we begin, I want the audience to be at least 120 before I'll actually begin this presentation. Before then, I have one request that I'll ask you to. I request you to bring a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper, and a pen. And we have an exciting activity to perform before we begin. So you have your time until some people bring their pieces of paper and their pens. I'll appreciate sharing a story with you, and the story is from all the way from Turkey to Afghanistan. And there was a boy who was sold in Turkey as a slave, and as a slave, when he was sold, he was brought to Afghanistan. At the time, the center of Afghanistan was Ghazni, and Ghazni is a famous place. And at the time, the name of the emperor was Ghaznavi, Mahmud Ghaznavi. So in his in his castle where he was, where different slaves were brought and being distributed, they were being labeled that who is going for whom and which slave belongs to who. So at the time, a boy was there, and he was young, and he was strong. So there was an old man, a sage, a person who can see through people and tell their qualities. And that guy, that old man, that wise sage, said to the boy that, "Oh boy, when you grow up, do not forget me. You must not forget me." The boy just laughed. "I'm a slave. I'm just a slave, and I cannot do much." But the sage repeated, "Boy, I am telling you, when you grow up, please do not forget me." And so this happens, and the boy is really sharp, and he is a good fighter, and he has a lot of skills, and he can do much more than an average slave would do. So he gradually progresses, and he becomes somehow the special guard of the king, Mahmud Ghaznavi. And later on in his life, what happens that when Mahmud Ghaznavi wants to leave his whole kingdom behind, he appoints that slave as the new the nominee for the upcoming king. And the name of that boy who became a slave and then became the king was Qutbuddin Aibak. And in Asian history, it's unforgettable, that the remarkable achievement that he has done, or whoever he was, but coming from a slave up to the emperor, that's remarkable. And this story is dedicated to everyone who had already brought the pen and paper, and the one who has just brought the piece of paper, and they want me to begin the session. I have one more visual story for you to go through. Meanwhile, everyone who is joining us live from Philippines, most welcome. And whoever is watching us from Bangladesh, thank you so much for being here. And whoever is watching us from India, I truly appreciate that Indian people are doing wonderful. They're doing great. I watched the session Discover Yourself by Kaleem Sayed. It was wonderful. And now, since people have joined us, I want to truly encourage and appreciate Institute of Global Professionals, who have brought everybody this golden opportunity to share so much knowledge at the comfort of their homes, at the comfort in their comfort zone, at their palm, in their mobile phones. So this is so flexible that you can learn international education. You can learn a lot from a lot of people in within no time. So let's just begin. Let's begin with a story. This is in South America. The mountain range is named as Andes. Andes is a mountain range where there were two climbers who had just who had a wish to summit the Andes mountains. So what happens is they go up to the summit, and upon when they're coming back, the storm hits them, and with the storm they meet two different obstacles. One is that one of them, which is Joe Simpson, he gets hurt. He slips down, he breaks his leg. Once he breaks his leg, it is difficult for him and the other one, the Simon, to carry him down to the base camp. So they're already coming down to the base camp, but the storm has hit, and it's very difficult for them to come down. So what happens is another disaster strikes them. And as soon as it strikes, what happens is the one of them, which has already broke his leg, Simpson, he slips down in a crevasse. He slips off the cliff and into the crevasse. Crevasse is a groove. It's a deep area on a glacier, and these are trenches. Nobody knows how deep they are, and anyone who drops in them can die immediately. So the rope has already tied Simpson, but Simon is up there. He's calling. He's shouting for Simpson to respond and to tell him that you are alive. Are you alive? So I could do something to pull you up. But it's strange. He's not responding. So Simon spends 1 hour trying to do his best, either to pull him up or to get any response from him. But strange, he was trying to respond, but he was unable to respond, or he was fainted. Nobody knows. But what happens is that suddenly Simon has to go. He has to survive. So he has to go down to the base camp. So in the end, Simon does something against the mountaineering principles. These are off the ethics, but he cuts the rope because the guy is not responding. So he has an additional luggage, so he has to survive. So in the end, what he does is he cuts the rope and goes back to the base camp. What happens to Simon? So what happens to Simpson? Simpson, since the rope cuts, he goes down, he falls down, slides down, hits sides of the crevasse, and somehow, to his luck, he slowly hits the bottom, and the bottom is not icy, it's a rock. But he falls on the rock indirectly, so he's safe. He is hurt badly from front, from the back. He already broke his leg. He may have broke his ribs, and when when his eyes open up, when he gains his conscience, he finds himself alive, and he tries to drag. He has two options. One to die, not to try, because he cannot do anything. Two, just try to do something to survive. So what he does, he takes he takes a wrap of like things that they display for the like sleeping in cold winter, like rugs. He takes his rug and he wraps it around his leg and tries to crawl with a broken leg. He crawls and miles and miles away, when when he actually survives and manages to meet, like he is falling in the trench, and see, he survives, he comes out of the glacier. This is the rope, rug tied to his leg, and eventually he manages to meet his friends at the camp, and everybody is so happy to see him alive, and it was a strange experience. So the question is, what lesson do you get out of this story? Please type it in the comment. What lesson do you get from this story? Please type it in the comments. So I would like to show you this picture of his. This is the condition which happened to him, and this is a true story. Joe Simpson. It is a true story. So there's a documentary on it. You can watch it. Anyways, thank you, 102 people who are watching this live. I truly appreciate you joining in on this session. I'm an educational psychologist. I work with a lot of clients. I apply therapies to alleviate the depression and the negative emotions and the negative thoughts and schemas of the people's mind, and to enable them to become happy. And there are lots of lessons that I've learned throughout my practice. I want to share those lessons with you people to prevent you from having a bad life and to help you live a happy and successful life. So let's begin. What are the top 3 secrets of happy life? I'm Hassan Bukhari, and there are 3 takeaways from today's session. Number 1, by the end of this session, your perception of happiness will change. We all have perceptions about happiness. What is happiness? Your definition of happiness will change. That's the number 1. Number 2, you will have control over your own happiness by the end of this session. That's something we're going to achieve in this session today. If you stick together, that will be wonderful. And number 3, which is an optional, if you have time, we'll definitely do an experiment to make you happy, to make you experience happiness by the end of this session. So once again, thank you, Institute of Global Professionals. What is up ahead? Number 1, we'll go and define what is happiness. Number 2, we'll see what makes us happy, and what is the science of experiment, and in the end, we'll do the experiment. So I have a question for you. What is happiness? What is happiness? I see there are people who are commenting that whatever it takes, never leave the league in times of disaster. Learn to look up the positive side of life. Reza is sharing this. Oh, that's a wonderful. Never leave a colleague. However, to the surprise of everybody, that had he not left his colleague, both of them would have died. But it's the outcome that told everybody that what happened was true. Anyways, we'll come towards this point. Your definition of happiness, I believe that's going to be wonderful. But before we move on, if you have brought a piece of paper, if you have brought a pen, we have a wonderful activity to perform. And the activity is, what you're going to do, you're going to take this piece of paper, you're going to put it on your head, and you have to take a pen or anything which can help you write. You can take it, and then you have to draw yourself whenever you're sad. How do you look when draw yourself? Just draw yourself and imagine a picture of yourself while keeping the paper above your head. Do this exercise, and we have a beautiful rationale to share with you. I hope you're doing it. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. I see lots of people commenting, sharing never give up. Wonderful. That's a beautiful lesson. Learn to be independent and keep fighting. Jay Will May, thank you for sharing this. Thank you. Strong and believe on oneself. Mr. Singh, and there are a lot of people. And Noah, Kira, don't give up. And thank you for sharing these. You're assistant professor from India, Thiam Chitrai. Okay, that's wonderful. Everybody who is commenting, I cannot take everybody on in this session, but if you have done the activity, if you have taken a piece of paper, let me just share with you. Like I am drawing myself when that's my nose. These are my lips, these are the eyes, and these are my hairs, these are my ears, and this is okay. So this is how I look whenever I am unhappy. Whenever I am sad, this is how I look. So take a look at the paper you have made, you have drawn yourself. Take a look at it and just laugh that whenever you are sad, that's the kind of face we have, and nobody likes it when we are sad. Nobody likes it when we are sad. See, we have mirror neurons in our brain, and God has gifted us because when a baby comes to this world, how does he learn? He learns to imitate people. He learns to do as they do, and because of these mirror neurons, human beings are able to learn, and we mirror everybody. So if you're sad, you will make people sad, and if you want success, you're gonna make a sad success. You have to be happy when you are successful. So you have to attract people. You have to be in groups. You need support. You need many people together to support you, and we live in groups. So that's how we grow. So in order to grow, you need to share positive emotions with others. So the question was, what is happiness? Anyways, uh, so that's a wheel. That's a wheel shared by, developed by a scientist. See, in this is the wheel of emotions. You can see the yellow color. The yellow color is of happiness, and the opposite of it is the grief. So the scientist who proposed suggested that emotions exist in opposite pair. Like if there is anger, there is fear. If there is anger, there is fear. Anger and fear are opposite. Whoever is fearful cannot be angry. Whoever is angry cannot be frightened, cannot be frightened. So there is joy, there is joy, and there is sadness, there is anger, and there is fear. There is trust, and there is disgust. Like people who trust each other, people who accept each other, and people who don't accept. This is opposite. And another stream is like vigilance or anticipation, thinking of the future. And on the opposite side of it is surprise or amazement or distraction. Some people are invested into something, some people are distracted. These are two opposite. But point of thought for us is, what is happiness? So we have to take this emotion. We have to take this stream of emotions and analyze what is happiness. So happiness is a stream of emotions. Happiness is a stream of emotions which contains many different emotions, and scientists have long been trying to explain what happiness actually is. And I'll share with you what psychology says about happiness. Happiness is a construct of philosophy. In language, people call this happiness. In psychology, in science, it is something different. See, right now you're seeing three different emotions. On the farther side of it, where emotion is pale or a little less, not extreme, on the farther side of it, it is serenity. Serenity says peace and calm and things like that. And the mid of it, it is joy. Like when we are happy, when we are expressive and happy. And at the mid of it, at the extreme point of it, it's ecstasy, the extreme pleasurable emotions people often have during And science says during their sex or whenever they're high, they have taken drugs, or when they're extremely excited, that's the scale of happiness. So you can see that on one side of this emotion of happiness, there is optimism, and optimism is related with the orange line of emotions, which is vigilance, anticipation, and trust. When you're interested in something and you're happy, you're optimistic. And optimism is thinking good of the future, thinking good of we have many people in this world, like most people, they're worried about what's going to happen tomorrow, what will happen with my life, what will happen to my relationships, what will happen to my academic grades, and how am I going to survive? The COVID-19 has destructed everything, and my business has failed. What am I going to do? So this emotion, these concerns are negative in nature. Like, you are not being optimistic. Your end result is predicted a disaster. What am I going to do? That's curiosity. Although it's about future, so it's anxiety, but it's not optimism. If you think positive about your future, that's optimism. Oh, we have opportunities. Oh, a lot of people are sharing their knowledge. A lot of people are bucking us up, helping us, giving us a helping hand, shaping our thoughts to come back to life and try to do the best. So that's something, optimism. And see, if you have trust, acceptance, and admiration of someone, and you're happy, that's love. Happy with people and trust on them, that's love. So when two streams combine, you have a different emotion, you have a different, so that's, you can see sadness, a lot of things. So this was proposed by a scientist named Plakchik. He said Plakchik wheel of emotions. So what is happiness? In one definition, happiness is the emotional state of joy and the absence of grief and sadness. That is what happiness is. Absence of sadness, existence of joy is called happiness. However, there is an easy definition. Let's get to it. Happiness on one side is a feeling, in your present state. Like, you can see the people are like on the girl on the left, she's actually feeling happy. You can see it from her face, like in the moment, wherever she's standing, she is feeling happy. And on the other side, if people have this concept, if they're experiencing wellness in their life, that generally their life is well, their life is good, their life is not bad, if they have this perception, this is happiness. So happiness is two-dimensional. One, it's a state of mind. It's an emotion. Something happens to you, and that is good. In the end, you feel better. If you feel better, that's the feeling part of it. But on the other hand, people have lived life through a time span. You have lived life through probably 20, 30, 35, 40 years, 100 years. And if you look at that life from a positive lens, if you look at that life from a positive perspective with optimism for the future and good thinking of the past, that you have made meaning in your life, or you have something to do in your future life, that is the existence of wellness in your whole experience. So these are two things that constitute happiness. So let's see what psychology says about happiness. So you can see on the screen, well-being. In psychology, a lot less is told about happiness and a lot well is told about subjective well-being. Why is it called subjective? What does it mean? Subjective means person to person, like my personal feeling or my subjective feeling. Your personal feelings are your subjective experience, your subjective thought. So one's own feeling of wellness, overall wellness, is known as happiness. That's one word definition of happiness. It's the state or the experience of wellness, something better. In other words, if a person A is feeling cold, this is winter. If a person A is feeling cold and he likes it, he'll become happy. How many of you like cold? How many of you like it? Just type it in the comment box. I'll see. Okay, so wonderful. Zishan Rao is watching from Pakistan. Welcome, Zishan. Thank you so much, everybody. If you like cold and winter arrive, you will feel excited. But on the opposite, if you dislike cold, you will be depressed. People in the colder regions of the world, especially in Scandinavian countries, Iceland, 1 to 1.5 hours a day, and they get depressed. And that's the key point of depression. I'll share something about depression. And when they feel depressed, they get out of their lives. They withdraw from their lives because they dislike same thing is observed differently by the mountaineers we just shared the story about. Same thing was experienced differently by the mountaineers. Recently, Pakistan had a big loss. Is Muhammad Ali Satpara, a wonderful climber. We lost him and 3 other people, one from Iceland and one from some other part of the world. But they loved the cold and they tried to summit K2, the most lethal mountain in the world, K2, in winter, in deep winter, without taking oxygen with them. That was an incredible challenge, but they took it. Why they took it? Because they're not scared of cold. They don't feel bad when they feel cold. So on the other hand, I don't like winter much. I like tropical areas like Philippines a lot more than the colder region of the world. But let's move on. See, situation is one, but subjective experience is different. Situation is the same, but subjective experiences are different. So test your happiness. There are 7 things, 7 types of happiness. There are 7 types of happiness, which, if we understand, can help us control our happiness, regulate our happiness. So, okay. So number 1 is optimism. We just shared that if Joe Simpson had not been optimistic, had not thought well of his future, he would have died. Nobody would have made a documentary about this true story. But that was a dare. That he was thinking positive. That's the number 1 kind of happiness. If you think positive about your future, number 1 type of happiness. Please write, what's the number 1 type of happiness? I want to see it in the comment box. Somebody's sharing, I love, feels cold, and I like it. Like she loves when it feels cold. Her name is Ronan. Okay, happiness is the choice. Thank you for sharing this. Optimism is number 1. Number 2, contentment. Like contentment, when we feel sound, when we feel that yes we are, when we are aware that we know this, we are happy. The number three is joy. Joy is when we're excited, when we are excited, but not to the extreme. When we are excited, we are sharing this. Like our eyes go up and wide. We display a smile. Like in optimism, we don't smile. In optimism, we just dare to do it. We see through it. And in contentment, we are we're just feeling fine. Okay, that's it's wonderful. But in joy, we are happy. We are happy, but not excited. So joy is whenever something good happens to you, you feel happy. So the result of optimism, when your result is good, it is joy. And then there is love. We all know that when we feel love, when we feel in love, or when we find love and somebody cares about us, we are so happy, and that's a beautiful emotion. And then the number fifth is the gratitude. When we are thankful about something, when we are thankful about the core that we have, when we are thankful about the sun that comes in the morning and gives us a daylight, and we can take sun bath, we can take vitamin D out of it. This makes us happy. So we have to be grateful that that Lord has granted us hands to do the work that is required every day. We need to be grateful that He has blessed us with life. There are a lot of people who are not who don't have good health, who are not who don't have enough food to eat, who are not in a who live in a war zone. There are a lot of people who are unhappy because of their life circumstances. Their relationships are not as good as they wanted it to be. So in these conditions, they are looking at the bad side. But even those people, if they be grateful for something that they're blessed with, the people around them, they're blessed with life. Everybody can be blessed with anything, but we can be grateful by thanking Lord, thanking God, Allah, about the things which are given to us. So if we have if we share, if we be grateful to people who are doing good to us, who are supportive, like our parents who have raised us, or our friends who have supported us, or our teachers who have made us who we are, or our community who has given us the concept of life, or our religion, or the supernatural authority of this universe. So if we praise them, that's the gratitude, because they've given us at least something. So number six is excitement. Excitement when we are about to do something, or when something is in progress, or at the end of a big achievement, we are so excited that yes, we made it. The way Simpson, like he dragged himself miles and miles away to the base camp, and his friends, they were so happy and they were so excited, and then people throw a party and they enjoy the time. And the seventh one is pride. So what is pride? Whenever we achieve something and we are praised by people, we're praised by everybody. So in the end, we are feeling more confident. We are feeling pride that yes, I have done wonderful. I've done wonderful. Great. So if you have experienced any of this emotion, believe it that you have experienced happiness. And the more you get close to these emotions, the more you experience these, you will get a sense of wellness throughout the time span of your life. Throughout the timeline of your life, you will relate your life, you will define your life as something good. So What makes us happy? That's a question for you. So now we shall move towards this test. Like, this is not a test, but this is something I want you to do. I guess you see a screen. What do you see? That's a screen. Where's everything? What do you see? Okay, wonderful. Whatever you see, just write it in the comment box. Whatever you see, write it in the comment box. Okay, I'm feeling cold. People have shared they see a black dot, they see blank screen, blank sheet. Okay, wonderful. White, a dot. Great, a black. Okay, purity, wonderful, a dot. That's beautiful. People who watch Institute of Global Professionals are thinking wonderful. A professor at an esteemed university just one day took a glass of water half filled to the students, and the students suddenly came to know that this is the same example, glass half filled and half empty. Which one is it? So the professor says, no, that's not the real question. The question is, how heavy is this glass? And students started replying. The students said it is 3 ounces. It is probably 3.5 to 4 ounces. Somebody said it's 5 ounces. Somebody said it's 2. But they were calculating. Somebody said if we put it on a weight machine, it can it might be with glass. It could be some gram. But everybody tried to tell that it has a weight. But the professor said something different. He said, it doesn't matter what the weight of this glass is. What matter is, like, suppose if I hold it for 1 second, it's not heavy. If I hold it for 1 minute, a little tired. If I hold it for 1 hour, my arm will go numb. I'll not be able to hold it along. But if I hold it for 5 hours, probably I may drop it. My hands will stop working. What if I hold it for 1 day? Probably the arm will paralyze. There was a rock silence. There was pin drop silence in the whole room. So what happens is he continues. See, it doesn't matter what the weight of glass is. What matters is how long we hold it for. Subjective feelings, personal experience. If somebody experiences this for 1 minute, it doesn't matter. 1 hour, it still doesn't matter. 1 day, that's terrible. That's very difficult. Same, he explains, same goes with the problems in our life. We have tiny, minute issues. We have a lot of problems in our world. But what happens is we hold on to them. What happened yesterday, what happened bad yesterday, we still remember. Whatever happened terrible to us in our childhood, we still remember. The worst, please remember your worst experience. What's the worst terrible experience? What was the nightmare? We hold on to those negative emotions. So this is a screen, and a lot of people will see the black dot. Some people may have not noticed that there is a black dot. They may have said it's a white screen. But if we see a black dot on a whole screen, this means that we are focused on just the tiny part of it. We're not focused on the large part of it. Same goes for life. We ignore the good part of it. Like a lot of times we were happy with our friends, but later we made it a new normal and we do not feel as happy as we should be. Okay, have a party for one day, you will feel happy. Have a party for second and third day, you will still feel a little happy, but have parties regularly for 30 days, you will get bored out of them. Why does it happen? Science says it happens because of hedonic principle. Like it happens because we soon try to get accustomed with the level of feelings we have. So emotions are biochemical experience. In this biochemical experience, there is a level of serotonin. There's a level of hormone that is released that makes us happy. So when we get habituated with the situation does not make us happy anymore. We doesn't get excited. We do not get excited. So we, in order to get excited, we have to review the situation. We have to experience it the way it is. So usually what we do is what regular things are going on, we don't consider them as happiness, and this gets a toll on our unconscious mind. Our unconscious mind says, no, you're not happy. No, this gathering doesn't make you happy. No, this party is not for you. You feel alienated. You don't feel like this. You don't feel happy. So that's just your subjective experience telling you that this happiness moment is not happy enough, is not enough for you, because that's a new normal. You have developed a new normal, and you need a new level of excitement in order to find this happiness. So same goes. But if something bad happens, why do we get dwelled on it? Why do we get so focused on it? It's because our normal is not unhappy. Our normal is happy or okay. Our normal is fine, which we don't even consider. And what is not normal is the black dot. What is not normal is a slight change in circumstances. What is not normal is a slight negative experience. We just get dwelled on it. We get soaked and soaked into it. We sometimes drown in it. Some people find it a traumatic experience. They're unable to let it go. They're truly unable to let it go. So if you have problems in your life, just like this black dot, or a little bigger, you still have a wide screen. If you let them go, you'll be so happy. Suppose if let's move on, and I'll share something more that's beautiful. So I wanted to share some secrets with you, and that I want to share with you is about perception. If you want to live happy, you have to have a positive perception. Have you seen the movie 123 Hours? A guy who was riding a bicycle on Grand Canyon, he just slipped down the crevasse and he got stuck. A boulder, a big rock, just pinned his arm against the Grand Canyon. He got stuck. He got stuck there for 123 hours. What he had to do to escape that prison? He tried to, like, people were up there. He tried to shout on them. He tried his best to do everything to get people's attention and ask for help, but people did not listen. Like, they were unable to hear him. So his food gets consumed. He doesn't have anything. He had to drink his own urine in order to survive. So what was his desire? What was his wish? What did he see? Did he want to die or did he want to live? He actually wanted to live, so his wrist was broken. Since his wrist was broken, he got paranoid. He did not understand how am I going to escape. He was standing from a few days, and 24 hour is 1 day. Multiply by 4 is 96 hours, and 5 days stuck out there without food. And he had a pocket knife. What he did, he cut his wrist. He cut his wrist in order to free himself from that situation. And we see this happening everywhere. Everybody in life gets stuck at a point. But those who survive are remembered. So the secret number one, perception is the key. If we're focused on the negative side of it, like if we see a glass half full, our life will be half full. We'll always be seeking something more. But if we see a glass half full, we'll always think that we have something in our glass. But if we think that we have a half empty glass, ultimately we will need more things. And this makes me think about the theory proposed by Abraham Maslow. He says that the number one needs are the primary needs: food and water and air. If we have these needs, we have second priority, and the priority number two is survival, like shelter, security. And number three is once we have food, enough food to live, and enough place to survive, we need people, belongingness. We want to share our experiences with everybody. We want their time. We want pleasure. So we want to belong to people, and we need, at the end of it, we need love, we need affection, we need care. So once we have this, then we need respect, because everybody has a degree of love and care and belongingness and sense of identity in this and in their surroundings. So people develop another need. That's self-esteem need. I may be respected. I need respect, a higher degree of respect. So in a room full of students, one student scores more. He works hard. Why does he work hard? Because he needs more respect. Why does he need grades? Why does he need grades? He needs grades because he wants respect at home among his peers, classmates. He wants respect among his siblings. He wants respect among his cousins and his neighborhood. And those who score exceptionally, in the end, they get respect, and that's self-esteem. Like, we get respected, we feel proud, our self-concept grows. And if we grow our self-concept, we are much happier. We are much happier than those who think bad of themselves, who don't have enough self-esteem, self-respect. So if everybody belongs to somewhere, like we are born people, and those people were born to some people, so this means we are a society. It means we belong to some society. Somebody belongs to some society in Bangladesh. Somebody belongs to some society in India, and then Pakistan, and then whoever is watching from UAE or whatever part of the world, from Philippines, people belong to societies. So we have to, like, sense of belongingness gets a little less when this, like, we need more. We need more. And Maslow said whoever gets these four needs becomes self-actualized, and he then wants to give. And continuously the person wants to give. Like in life, it's a choice whether to see a situation positively or negatively. For example, your life is boring. That's a perception. Others are very happy. That's a perception. For example, I am good. That's a perception. We have reality. We live reality. We live life, and life is a reality, but ultimately reality is a shared perception. Who calls this object glass? People call it a glass, therefore we call it a glass. So if people if people called it a bottle, what would we call it? Definitely, we would definitely call it water. We would definitely call it a bottle. So the thing is, the meaning that is attributed to this object is attributed by some people, and then watching them, imitating them by us. Therefore, we call it a glass. So whatever you believe about your life is just a perception. So let's share another story with you. It's a beautiful story. A little girl in Africa, one of the countries of Africa, where there was a lot of racism. A little girl goes for bringing water for their home with her uncle. They move a few miles to the well in order to fetch some water. So she has the canes. She's so happy going down there, trying to fetch water. And while they go to the well, they get some water. On the way back, they're halfway through. People of the other clan, other race, they find the uncle. And then they want to kill the uncle because they're enemies. The clans are enemies to each other. And they're far away from home. And the little girl is shivering. She's so scared. She's so scared that she doesn't even speak a word. She just goes into the background. The guys hold, there are four guys who attack the uncle, and two guys hold him, and two guys just cut him down with their big knives and blades, and they cut him down to death. She is stunned. She is watching, but she's in the background. They don't notice it because they were not going to kill the girl. But now the girl has the evidence. She saw who murdered the uncle. So the girl suddenly realizes that now they're going to come after me. She starts running, and one of them sees the girl, and they say, "Oh, she's running. She'll tell somebody. Let's kill her." The two of them say, "No, don't kill her." The two of them, "No, kill her." So they run after her, and then they start running and running. So she's running towards her home. Water is somewhere else, and she is so scared. And suddenly, they catch her. Two of them, when they catch her, one holds her hand and they cut her wrist. Then they cut another wrist, the other wrist. And then they cut the other main artery. So they want the girl to die. And even they make a cut on the neck, and they leave her to death. When they're leaving, she feels that I am not feeling cold. I'm still alive. She was bleeding, but she was alive. And suddenly they leave, and the girl gets her conscience back. She stands up. She starts running with her hands bleeding, with her throat bleeding. She starts running up the hike, down the hill, mile away. When she reaches her home, she sees her mother. She faints down. Mother, everybody takes her to the hospital. Doctor says you will not be able to save her. She will die. She's in a coma. But she's actually listening to the voices of the doctor because she's still alive. So a few days later, her legs move. The doctors say, "Oh, she's coming to life," and suddenly she comes to life. By the time They had already amputated the hands. They've cut the hands because they're unable to fix them. When she realizes that she does not have hands, she takes probably a year or two to get fully recovered. And then one of her extended family relationship, he gives them money, he moves their family to another place, and then she starts studying. She starts going to a culinary school, like culinary arts. She studies cooking, and when she studies cooking, when she goes to the room, everybody laughs at her. You don't have hands. What are you doing here? You don't have hands. How are you going to cook? She's facing another trauma. But what happens is she suddenly, like in some time, she starts doing what she has to do, and she graduates. She does BA in culinary arts and first degree results, and later on she becomes a world-class chef. And to our surprise, she is known as the handless chef. Her name is Marcel Apatha. She's not alone. There are lots and lots of people in this world. In New Zealand, two friends go up the glacier. They want to while they're going up the climb, a blizzard strikes them. They hide in this. They make a hide in the ice, and they go in there. They save themselves. They have some food. Like blizzard completely freezes everything. They stay there for 13 days, and afterwards the search team finds them. They get rescued. One of them does, like, his feet are amputated because of frostbite. The doctors cut his feet to his thighs. He does not have his knees. What happens? 23 years later, he climbs Mount Everest with artificial limbs. He climbs Mount Everest with artificial limbs. So what is the secret to happiness? What is the secret to happiness? I lost a hand. I lost a limb. I'm feeling terrible. One man, one person will go beg for money. He will live the kind of life beggars live. And the other one will be courageous and try to hit their mark. And once they hit their mark, it's everything for them. Their life changes. The guy who amputated his own hand while he was seeing, while he was awake, that takes courage. And everything's hidden in the perception. If you're optimistic, if you're feeling positive, you live a wonderful life. If you're feeling pessimistic, oh no, something is wrong, the governments are wrong, everything is wrong, no, you can never be happy. And to your surprise, there's a category of thinking which actually facilitates this kind of thinking. Some people think conflict thinking. They contradict with situation, they contradict with people, they contradict with everybody, they contradict with everything, because that's what critical thought does. Critical thought evaluates things. The way you evaluated a blank screen and the dot, people evaluate the situation. Because of their critical thought, they contradict, and then they find that's a risky thought. If you're a critical thinker, if you think in such thinking, you will end up conflicting with everybody. So that's why it's called conflict thinking. If somebody has died, you will say, why has he died? If there's a war, you will say, why is there a war? If economy is falling, you will say, why? No, that's wrong. That's wrong. But if you're a functional thinker, you will tend to think, oh, everything is okay. If there's war, that's okay. If economy is in crisis, that's okay. If you haven't had food in the last 24 hours, that's okay. If somebody has done harm to you, that's okay. What does this functional thinking gives us? This gives us a privilege. This gives us a privilege to think, to spend our energies on something which we can actually do, regardless of contradicting with everything, every philosophy, everything above our head. If we spend our time fixing our own self, fixing our own limitation, mastering our own self, learning new skills, learning new philosophy, will it not end up good? A functional thinker is usually half full time. They think things are okay. So in therapy, we usually educate people about this relationship. This is a cycle. We find a situation, we sense something. Once we sense something, we give meaning to it. And when we give meaning to it, that's actually called perception. So science says situations do not have meaning. It's we who attribute meaning to them. So right after the perception, thought process just begins. If you perceive positively, you will tend to think good. If your thoughts are charged positive, your emotions will be positive, because thoughts generate emotions and emotions generate behavior. If you're happy, you're likely to meet people. If you're sad, you're likely to get withdrawn. Number one sign of depression is withdrawal from everyday activities. Now analyze yourself. Analyze yourself that how often do you interact with people, or how often do you do normal activities which give you pleasure? If you think your day ends up a good day, a good experience, you're a happy man, you're a happy woman, you're happy everybody. But if you think that by the end of the day, you're not satisfied, you're not happy, then it means something is wrong with the perception, because of which something is wrong with the thought, because of which something is wrong with the thought, and because of which something is wrong with the emotions. You're feeling negative emotions. Because of negative emotion, you will tend to behave the wrong way. Your behavior will then contribute to another learning, that I tried to do this, but it did not end up well. You will have the wrong consequence, and when you have a wrong consequence, you will tend to continue this cycle, never-ending cycle. In psychology, we call it vicious cycle. It's like a twister. It's like a twister storm. It attracts everybody. It attracts everybody, and it does not leave anyone until this is broken down by a therapist. So this cycle will leave people in depression, and they will get completely withdrawn from their life. So if your perception is positive, you will be a happy person. That's the number one secret. So let's move on to the secret number two, vulnerability. And this is my favorite one. See, in a situation, when we feel vulnerable, vulnerability means when we feel that we can get harm, somebody can harm us. We are weak. We can be hurt. And this need is generated from level 2 needs. Remember, first one was food and biological needs, and number 2 was security. People who feel vulnerable always feel insecure. They will feel insecure in a social situation. They'll feel anxious. They will feel sometimes when they're very lonely. They will feel vulnerable. Everybody feels vulnerable. So why do we not jump from a high building down to a ground? Because our mind tells us that, well, that's the wrong thing to do. We are vulnerable. Our legs may break. And sometimes a child in his early ages, when he goes outside, there's a big bully bully guy, a boy who bullies every child in the neighborhood, and that child bullies this child, laughs at him, mocks at him, hurts him, taunts, and make him do bad things like uh, eat dirty things or black paints his face or does something wrong to him. So the child will face a situation. That's a situation. In this situation, there are two things to think about. One, people out there, they're terrible, they're bad, and never do that. Never go outside alone. And this child just made a perception. If he follows that and gets rewarded, he'll continue to follow it. What's the reward? Next time he went out with his father, his brother, his someone, he was not hurt by that bully guy. The guy was watching, staring at him. But the little child found reward. We tend to follow the things which give us reward. We behave the way we get rewarded. So the child will continue to think that the world out there is very insecure. If I get out, he'll abuse me, he'll do something. So the child will get dependent. And this vulnerability, like he'll see other children roaming around, he'll see other children playing with each other in their school. He'll not be adjusted because he's scared of bullies, because he feels vulnerable. People who think that they can be hurt, they can seriously be hurt. But if people break this perception, this is just a perception. Another child, the same child, now the new story. The child is bullied by the guy. Then next time when he goes out and he thinks, so what? He bullies me, but I have to go out because I want my reward. I want to go out to the shop. I want to go out to the playground to play with my friend. I want to go out cycling. I want to go skating. So my priority is my need, my goal, my target, and which is skating, boarding, everything, which is cycling, which is playing with friends. And this bully, this negative thing, this negative situation, okay, fine, he'll do something with me, he'll try to hurt me, but I want the other thing, I want my goals. And this guy may try to refuse. This guy may try to seek help from his parents to get him to the park or to watch him, or to, like, he'll think towards an intervention. What is the outcome? Like, the first guy was getting rewarded initially, but in the long run, he compromised his life. And the second boy, he had help. He asked someone for help. The people helped him, and he coped up with that bully. And maybe he got beaten up second time, third time, but he wanted the goal. He had a focus. He wanted to perceive a future, an optimistic future. His perception was positive. His thoughts were positive. He was still courageous, positive, and in the end, he did not feel vulnerable. A little. So will he be happy in the long run? Absolutely. Throughout his life, he'll be happy because he dared to do something. So a lot of people feel vulnerable in their lives. We cannot invest in something. We cannot. People get blackmailed. Someone gets pictures of somebody and they blackmail and they ask them to do more. Like, there was a Blue Whale. There was a game called Blue Whale, and they got secrets and then they abused people. Then they've got more secrets. And like, when a child, when anyone feels vulnerable, insecure, able to be hurt, they're not confident. Vulnerability is totally opposite of confidence, and a life lived without confidence is a life not lived. Do you want to live such a life in which you are unable to make decisions on your own? When you need support, like support when your leg is broken, when anyone does not have legs, they need support. And even if they don't have legs, if they are able to summit Mount Everest, are they vulnerable? No, they are not. Nobody is. It's better to experience your own goals, your own self, and be proud of it than to grieve on not being able to do. People who are unable to do, ultimately they get depressed. When they get depressed, they get withdraw out of the normal life circle, and ultimately they need medical help. So vulnerability, something terrible. And the opposite of vulnerability is confidence and courage. So loss, the fear of loss makes us do makes us make wrong decisions. But the anticipation and optimism about a positive future gives us a lot of confidence and enthusiasm and happiness to live life up to the fullest. And that's how it. A lady, I forgot her name. She got married, and she was an Australian woman. She got married with a boy who was Briton, and she got a yacht, a boat, and she wanted to move from Australia. She wanted to sail from Australia with her friend all the way to another coast, like to United States. So what happens is when they get in the middle of the Pacific, they they get struck by a storm, and it's a storm when they're fighting with waves, and the waves are getting high, and suddenly a big wave comes and flips the boat, and then another wave comes and flips the boat. She's hidden under the deck, and she tries her best to save herself, and it's dark, and once the dark goes out, she wakes up in the morning. The boat is straight, and the deck and everything is broken, and her friend or husband is missing. She tries to search about him everywhere. She tries everywhere, but she is unable to find the guy. So there are two ways to think about this. One, I'm alone, my partner is lost, I'm totally vulnerable. I may end up on a beach where there are wild people who can eat me alive or something. I can die out of scarcity of food. I don't have anything. My boat is broken. It means end of life. But she chose the opposite. She became courageous. In the name of her boyfriend, she tried her best to sail. She rerouted. She wherever she wanted to go, it was so far away. Her boat was broken, so she pointed her direction to Hawaii. And 23 days later, she landed safely on the island. And the people of Hawaii, they met her, and this made a true story of courage. So her name was something like Ash, or anyways, you can find the story somewhere, but that's a true story. She's not alone. A lot of people have felt vulnerable in the beginning, but fear is just a state of mind, and failure is just a state of mind. If you fight it, if you be courageous, you can fight everything, and you can be happy in the end. I was studying yesterday, and happiness has a relationship with money. People who don't have money, they feel vulnerable. they get unhappy. Happiness has a relationship, positive predictor relationship with social circle. Like if you have friends, you will be happy. Most studies suggest that if you have skill, you will be happy. Studies suggest if you have a degree of achievement, you will be happy. Studies also, one study was astonishing. A guy named Qasim, he studied at the Cambridge, and he did a research on countries, and he studied that overall well-being predicts the economic stability. The stability is predicted by well-being. So if government decides to drop down well-being of people, like increasing the taxes, but when people work hard, in the end they get the outcome, country gets stable and everything gets better. So everybody achieves subjective well-being, happiness. And that was an amazing study, that you have to go down the deep curve and then you have to rise back again in order to be happy. That's a beautiful study. And I was studying one more thing. See, people who are vulnerable, they're sad, and this makes us it makes them make wrong decisions and find wrong results. So let's get on to the final secret number 3. Secret number 3 is abundance. Everybody since childhood wants things. We spoke about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. See, needs can flip sides. If you flip the side of need, if you get good cookies, you may eat more than you need. An average man requires 2,500 calories a day, but usually people get more than that and they get obese. They get fat, and then they're unhappy about their fat, their weight. Why does it happen? It happens because people misuse, people abuse need with want. Same goes in our life. Abundance, the principle of abundance. We want abundance, but it goes all the way wrong. We become greedy. See, when we grew up, we want more money. We want the best girl. We want the best job. We want the best car. We want to live in the best country. We want we want to grow. We want to be physically well enough that we want things better than everybody. So this makes us greedy. However, I guess this is the wrong concept of abundance. Science suggests that money is a predictor of happiness, but only up to $75,000 a year. You will get $10,000 more than your salary, more than you in a year. You will be very happy. If you get 20,000, 30, 50, $70,000 more than your average salary a year, you will be the happiest person in the world. A little more than that, studies have suggested that it doesn't predict happiness. You start to become unhappy. Why? Because the greed kicks in. Because you need even more. You are in a different social circle and you're on the bottom of it. And since you're on the bottom of it, that's what happens. So we have a wrong perception about abundance. We think that having more is abundance, but actually not. Abundance is psychological. Abundance is in our mind. It's in our perception. People who feel vulnerable require more in order to get away from vulnerability. People save money. People save stuff. Like in COVID, everybody saved stuff. People save things in war, in any catastrophe. They save things. They need abundance in order to deal with vulnerability because they're feeling weak. You get more, you'll not feel strong because your perception is based on vulnerability. On the other hand, confidence. The guy who dropped down in a crevasse on a glacier survived. People who were stuck on a glacier in New Zealand, on Mount Cook, somewhere in New Zealand, so they survived 13 days. The lady who had a shipwreck in the middle of the ocean, she survived. Did she have abundance? Did she have more? She did. She only merely had a compass to give her the right trajectory. That's the mere little thing that gave her that gave her everything in her life. The guy who amputated, did he have abundance? He survived there for 5 days. That's not all. Like, life begins with perception. It ends with perception. People who think positive about future, their perception is good, they're optimistic, and they're less vulnerable, and they do not require saving a lot of things, they do not require gathering a lot of stuff. They give. See, gratitude is abundance. Being thankful for the little things is abundance. And this is the end of it. Abundance is not having more. Abundance is giving more, bearing enough fruit that you can give it to everybody. That's abundance. Jack Ma says, if you want to be a billionaire, solve problems, like benefit the people. He says, I was a total failure because I wanted to live for myself. I wanted to earn money for myself. The moment I switched my thought, switched my perception, the moment I left my own vulnerability, I started thinking for people. I made a platform where people could sell people stuff. Like companies could come on a digital platform and people could come on a digital platform and it will be a marketplace. And people from United States started coming to that platform called Alibaba.com, and then Jack Ma says, I became a millionaire by solving $1 million problem. So Jack Ma did not get abundance. He gave something to people which made him abundant. So that's the number 3 secret of today's session. I hope you like this session, and more studies suggest that mental exercise or dreaming of the future, it is closely related. Picturizing oneself in good future self, in a good future of oneself, this can make us happy, and that's the most powerful and most research backed evidence-based idea, evidence-based reason, and that's it. So if you're ready, I want to take you on a beautiful journey from here to somewhere where you will feel very happy, and that's the experience of it. Because number one, I promise that by the end of the session, you will have a different perception of happiness. Previously, getting things may have been observed by you as happiness, getting a lot, but now you think that giving a lot makes us happy. Previously, safety was a priority. Now, doing something exceptional is something which gives you happiness. Previously, happiness was controlled by situations, circumstances, but no, another one of the most powerful studies suggests that that we think that our circumstances or situation is making us unhappy. No. Situations contribute only 10%. 40% of the situation of happiness is in our control. What we do, our behaviors, what we do makes us happy. And 50% of it is predicted by our genes, our genetic heredity. So suppose A guy perceives his life as terrible mess and says that I'm totally unhappy because my parents were unhappy. So I have got this sadness and depression in genes. That's why I'm unhappy. Sorry, that's a perception. How is it a perception? Let's calculate. If you have 50% of unhappiness in your genes, like let's say out of those 50%, maybe you have got 10% from your mother and father. Okay, 10% in circumstances. Let's say your circumstances are unhappy, they're bad, terrible. You still have 40% in hand. Let's say 10 plus 40% makes 50%. You can twist your life around. You can turn your life around. You have a 50% chances of success, of being happy and living a happy life. But if you perceive the glass half full, half empty, no, I am 50% unhappy. You'll end up unhappy. That's the science. If you will see that, okay, fine, I got 10% happiness from my genes, but 40% is in my control, and probably 5% my situation is not that terrible. I'm having food. I'm living in a dorm or in a room or somewhere in a terrible condition, but I'm living in a shelter. I have a shelter. I have at least basic needs. 5%. So you have got 55. Your chances of success are more than chances of successful happy life are more than before. If you think that, like, it's on your own perception, it's your calculation. If you calculate, if you give advantage to yourself, you'll end up a happy person. So let's go on this journey. Thank you, everybody. You are 100% satisfied of this session. Let's go on a journey. Thank you, everybody. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes on 3, 2, 1, and let's start an imagination with me, and let's see if this can make us happy, and if we can have a different result in the end of the session. So 3, 2, and 1, everybody has closed their eyes, and now they see that they're in their bedroom. They're lying on their bed, and their shoulders are stuck. They're heavy. They're feeling tired. Their life has a lot of miseries and terrible experiences, and they cannot sleep at night because you cannot sleep at night because you're always thinking about your problems, and your life has become unhappy, but your shoulders are stressful. Suddenly you realize that in your room there are 3 metallic balls, black, black, and black, 3 metallic balls. And you suddenly get up from your bed and you see one of them is your perception, another one of them is your vulnerability, and another one of them is need for more. These 3 problems contain your relationship problem. These 3 problems contain your educational, your business problems, your economical problems. This contain your everyday situations. And what you do is you find a bag, you find a strong bag, you open this bag, you put 3 balls in it, and you zip up the bag, and you see, you get out of the room. When you open your door, you see that you were in a motel, and the motel was nearby an ocean. And when you step on the road, there is a beautiful jeep, there's a beautiful car, off-roader, waiting for you. It's brown in color, and you see the tires are black, and the brown jeep, and in its kind of a pickup, and on the back of it there is a place where you can put the bag. Now you see the balls are trying to resist. They're trying to come out of the bag, and you suddenly realize that they will escape. They will escape. They will suddenly escape, and you don't want them to escape. Your problems in life, what do? You tie them with a rope and you put it into the trunk of your car. You you ignite the engine, you start moving towards the hill. You go so far that you see there is a hill, and the hill is barren. There are no trees. It is dry. You move up the hill. It's very difficult. It's a hike, and your car is it's resisting not to go upward, but you don't want to give up. You're trying to move up the hill. Then you get out of the car, you drag the bag is tied, the balls are trying to run. You move up and you suddenly go to the peak of that hill, and you realize that this is a volcano. And you this is the volcano, and the volcano is just about to erupt, and you feel scared that this is a volcano. You may die in there, but what you do is you pull that bag, you throw that bag into the volcano, and the volcano just opens up its mouth, and you see the lava, and the lava eats and combusts and and destroys those problems. Now your negative perception has vanished. Now you don't feel vulnerable. Now you are thinking abundantly. You are thinking that you are feeling light. Your shoulders are feeling light. You come down the hill in the same jeep. You're so happy. You're starting to playing song. You're so happy. You go towards the beach. Now you see on that beach there are coconut trees on one side. That's a deep blue ocean. A lot of people are surfing. A lot of people are boating. There are water scooters. There are a lot of people on the beach who are eating ice cream. There are many people who are taking sun baths. There are kids who are playing, and suddenly everybody starts looking at you. You're you're feeling strange. Why are they looking at you? They're looking at you because now you don't have any problem in your world. Now you will feel vulnerable. Now you're the happiest person in the world. And suddenly a monkey breaks a coconut, throws it to you. You catch the coconut, you break it open, you drink from it. Wow, that's a wonderful experience. Everything is beautiful. The birds are chirping, the birds are looking at you, and they are congratulating you. They say that you are such a happy person. You are such a happy person. They say that go, the boat is waiting, go sail. You suddenly step into the boat and you see that the person, the ideal person, the best person of your life, which you want the most, is sitting in the boat, waiting for you, just waiting for you. You're so happy. You want to spend the moment with them. You go deep into the ocean, you fish, you you're so happy, you hug, and you feel abundance. You don't have any penny in your pocket, but you are feeling the happiest and the most wealthiest person in this world because you are living the moment. You come back, you you're having hands in hands with the best person of your world, be it your son, your wife, your girlfriend, be it anybody. You get into your car, your whatever the name of the car is, the brown car, and people say goodbye, they congratulate you once again. You drive all the way to open your home. Suddenly you realize that you are in your room, and you open your eyes and you feel that you are the luckiest person in this world. How does that feel? I believe this exercise was wonderful. I believe you're feeling happy now, and research suggests that this exercise, if you do it for a few days, will shape your life the other way around. My humble my humble desires, my humble wish for you is that you experience the fullest of your life with positive perception, with confidence and courage, and with an abundance which is about giving, about gratitude. Having these three scientific principles in place, you can be the happiest person in this world. Thank you so much. So, Miss Salma, I hope you're there. Hello, Miss Salma. Do you hear me? Are there any questions? I want the audience to
Thank
ask any questions.
you, sir. Yes. Hello.
Yes, please. Oh, that's a nice question. Will we see you again in next webinars? Right now, I don't know. Uh, it's up to the Institute of Global Professionals.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Hello, sir. Thank you. This was amazing session, and we learned a lot.
Thank you so much for your response. Okay, so I want audience to ask any questions about vulnerability, happiness, or your perception. I'm happy to answer.
Let me see.
Thank you everybody for watching this session. I see your comments, and these are wonderful, like absolutely 100%.
Hello.
And and everybody is happy. That's wonderful. Yes, please. Thank you so
Thank you, sir. That's an amazing session, and we learned a lot. We are grateful to you for your beautiful presentation.
Thank you so much. How can pessimism be overcome? What are some practical tips? Nancy, thank you for asking this wonderful question. See, pessimism comes from perception. Like every thought that originates in our mind comes from how we are
Sir, I
actually
think this
seeing the
session will
situation.
really help our audience to do better in their personal and professional life. So, sir, and again, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time and share your comprehensive knowledge with all of us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. So,
Dear audience, I would love to thank you all for attending today's session. I hope you learned something new and you will implement in your life. Thank you so much for being with us. If our
you're so welcome.
webinar helps you a little bit, humble request to you that leave a review on our page and spread the information with your friends.
Do you want me to answer the questions? Do you want me to answer the questions? Hello. Okay, so I'll try to answer my question if I'm still live. Uh, so what actually is pessimism? Pessimism is a personality characteristic, and pessimism comes from your past learning. And where does the learning comes from? What actually is learning? Learning is relatively permanent change in knowledge. So basically, this is knowledge, but anything above, anything different which you add to your knowledge, your existing knowledge, is car learning. So when you learn from your life that the that whatever you're trying to do will end up bad, that actually the recurrent experience will make it a characteristic. So personality characteristics come from past. So in your past, if somebody has experienced a lot of negative experiences, what will happen? And a person will learn that no matter what I do, it will end up bad. The baby elephant, which is tied with a rope, tries to break away, cannot break away. So when the elephant grows up, even if it is not tied with anything, just a ring in its feet, it still thinks that I am tired, so I cannot run away, and never tries to run away. So what is it? It is learned self-helplessness. So in this condition, learning optimism would be the best tip. Learning optimism will be the best tip. Eventually, if you'll continue to learn more and more, in the end, your thoughts about negative thoughts about future, your negative perception will become weak, and you will prime yourself for optimism, and in the end you will start feeling optimistic. However, you can also help take you can also take a lot of online sessions from speakers online where there's a lot of content on YouTube as well. You can you can take YouTube help from YouTube or from professionals who can evaluate your your own settings, your own individual life, your own unique conditions to identify why that you have developed pessimism and how can you develop optimism. So the easy way to go is to consume the positive content so that you end up thinking positive. I hope that answers your question. So in this condition,
Thank you so much, Mr. Hassan, for your total presentation. Actually, I am in backstage, but on the backstage, I learned something new from you, and your voice is so awesome, and you are well prepared. That's I also believe. And one more thing, there is IGP almost nominated for or lots of international awards. We'll circulate it within short time. By the support of our total participants from 55 plus countries, and in between time, we served more than 250,000 plus participants in last 6 months.
wonderful,
It's actually
amazing,
great
amazing.
and by IGP, and as a director and founder, I really happy to serve them with a better and better quality education. That's the reason which we already discussed from at the beginning stage, and recently we almost one more thing is that I'm completely booked till August. We have a scheduled program till August is completely free for participants, and you all know that the participant trainers, speakers, and coaches from all over the world, we just want to serve a better quality education to the participants. We focus on the pandemic's time, but it's not on only for pandemic. It's total based on now. global economic condition also, and we just focus on one thing, that is feed your skill. if you if you don't have your training or coaching, something like that, but you can't achieve your goal in short time. I noticed that someone already commented that what should be the next program title. Someone wrote it in how to promote it. That
How
means he
to?
how to promote, how to be promoted. That means he
Oh,
wants
wonderful.
promotion. That means he wants promotion. But what should we do that? We can't say how to promote it. It totally depends on your personality development and your professional development. That you should maintain your time management, your performance management, and your occupational management. But yes, 2 hours webinar, how can we serve them? How to be promoted? Is it possible?
Okay, wonderful. That's a nice question, and I don't think we should think from a perspective of getting something like promotion. We should not think about getting promotion. We should think about, if we think in the actual abundance mindset, is that I'm full and I have to give to people, and if we serve in a way that we are not acquiring a chair, we are uh, giving our best efforts, the most benefit to the most people in the best professional way with our full competence and full learning. I think that's the mindset, that's the positive and abundant perception which can actually get people promoted. I once counseled uh, principal of one of the best schools in Pakistan. So she happened to ask me that I have an interview, and a lot of brilliant candidates uh, are applying for the position. So what do you advise? What's your advice? I say, why do you want that position? She says, why shouldn't I? Because I have served the organization for probably 20 years, and in the same organization, I wanted to get promoted, to get more, because I deserve it. So I said it's a taking mentality, and think for yourself. Does the taking mentality suit a chair which is out there to serve? No. So having the taking mentality can make us greedier, greedier, and greedier. We're not interested in serving. We're interested in getting. So change the mindset. You automatically get promoted. The thing, the theme struck her, and 1 month later, when I went to meet her, she called me in for the tea, and then she said that thank you for the advice. By your advice, I outsmarted every candidate on that table, and luckily, I got promoted, and I got the principal, the manager of the whole cluster of schools, the whole circle of schools. So she truly thanked me for that. But have a giving mentality. That's my answer.
And almost all are doing the same thing in our own area, because if we focus on the only for performance, it's not defined how should we promise or how should we grow. Actually different, it's a completely different situation. And one thing is that someone wants promotion without effort, is it unbelievable? no
Yes,
one
that's
no one pay you with, no one pay you without your effort. It's not your father also. To
you're
support
right.
you, your company, you have to mention that this company is yours. If this company this company is yours, then you will find best way to serve a better and better environment. When you're click on that in your profession, is it the right pathway for that? Yeah, this is the right way for promotion. If you think that no, this is mine, this is not mine, then money. But this is also true. But when you showed your leadership skill, I saw that in the last 7 to 8 years, when you showed your leadership skill, some people declared that you are one army.
Some people declared that.
Some people declared that you are one man army. you don't have any leadership quality. They don't want to declare you as a leader. I
Ah,
saw that
okay, okay.
in field. I saw it in lots of corporate field. They don't want to declare it. That's not a leader in this company.
Yeah, understand what you're saying. Pardon me.
We should focus and at the end of the now at the end of the session, thank you, Mr. Hassan, for your beautiful presentation. Okay, better for our participants.
My pleasure. Compliments from Pakistan. Thank you everybody for watching. People from all the way from Philippines, Thailand, whatever, wherever they are, to the UAE, and loving people of India and Bangladesh and talented people of everywhere, and especially my own people of Pakistan, who like Pakistan is a beautiful country. I invite everybody to visit Pakistan, and you will have wonders in your life. Thank you so much for having me on this session. I look forward to whenever whenever I'm available and my need can facilitate people. So I look forward. Thank you so much.
So we are good your approach. So see you again in our next any one session. Definitely for today's
Thank you.
certificate participants are requested to log in to our website www.edui.com and link also shared in comment box. Today's class or actually class code session. You can just enroll the session and click on certificate. And you can verify your certificate from anywhere, which you already mentioned and which you already promised. And you can download previous all webinars certificates from at the same platform www.uigp.com. Thank you so much for being with us. See you in next session. Next we have some two where which topics in this so much